Hello. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. It's your boy E, Dividend Passport Bro, with another video. And yes, I am rocking my Chelsea hat. I'm a 100% Chelsea fan, and you guys know I support Chelsea. So the boys had a they had a great Saturday. They put 3 on West Ham. You know, welcome back to the channel, guys. So I don't know what's going on, but look how many subscribers we have, guys. We at 311 subscribers. I just came back from the Wall City, walking around, hanging out with my friend, and I got back. I was like, you know what? I wasn't gonna make the video earlier, so I uploaded the video that I had did with Uncle Jay. I uploaded that video. I was like, you know what? Just in case I don't make it back in time, I can go do my thing and then get back. But I got back. I was like, you know what? I still got time, so I'm gonna keep up with what I said I was gonna do on this channel, to make a video every day. So, back, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. So guys, some of you guys know my story, some of you guys don't know my story. Almost 5 years ago, I decided I didn't want to depend on anybody else for my income, and I started investing in dividends. Now, that's pretty much it, right? In the back end, of course, yes, I did day trade. I didn't like it, and I got burned out. So I was like, you know what? I need to do something else that I don't have to sit in front of the computer every day. Now, as you guys know, other than when I'm making videos, I spend maybe 15 minutes a day on average checking my portfolio. And if I want to do a deeper dive, it might take a longer time than 15 minutes a day. It might take 30 minutes if I need to check something else, or usually when I'm making videos, it takes a little longer because I have to, go in the channel and look at my account and make sure I'm showing the right stuff. So I take my time when I'm doing that. And I appreciate you guys for subscribing to the channel, for liking the content, for sharing the content. You guys just don't understand and don't know how much I appreciate this, right? This is not my only channel. I have multiple channels. I have the Life of Edwin Ford channel. Pretty much it's my life and what I do, in my daily life. I mostly just focus on the financial on this channel. And that's pretty much what I do on this channel, right? I have a short and what do you call it? I have another channel which is like a short, and I do what you call it? I can't even think of what the stuff is. But I have another channel that I do that, and then whatever that is, and then I have another channel is like a rain noise video channel. I have that channel, but I stopped posting video on that channel, even though I think I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers on that channel. And then on my short channel, I got over 2,000 subscribers on that channel. So I think I need to start making more videos on that channel to get that channel monetized, because most of the videos on that channel is like short, right? I got some long videos on there, but so I went to some concert and stuff. I posted on that channel. But other than that, I don't have nothing else to put on the channel. And I'm going to start doing more work on that channel. But enough with the channel stuff, right? Let's get to the nitty gritty. Now, today, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. The retirement age and taking full retirement. And if you're doing what I'm doing, then none of that will matter, right? Retirement age, taking full retirement, or you don't take full retirement, none of that will matter, because you set your own goals and you reach those goals before retirement, right? And you can retire whenever. Like now, I can retire today if I wanted to, and don't work for nobody, and do what I'm doing now, make YouTube videos on all the channels that I have, keep my kids busy and spend time with them. I can do whatever I want to do, but I choose to work because I still figuring out what I'm going to do when I retire. because I mean traveling is fun, but after a while they get burned out, right? You get tired doing traveling, which is it's a lot of fun. I love to travel, but after a while you don't want to do that anymore. You want to settle down and find a place and say, you know what, this is my home. And I love Colombia. I spent over 6 years in Colombia, you know, off and on for work, and now I've been spending more time here because of my daughter. Um, and you know, I own property in Colombia. I'm in the process of getting my Colombia residency. So a lot of other things, right? And but I love the DR also. I spent what 15, 20 years back and forth to the DR in Atlanta. So I mean, you know, you go to different places, you meet people, you establish relationships, and you know, like I said, I don't have to live in the U.S. I really don't. The only thing that was keeping me in the U.S. that's my brother, my brothers and my sister, right? My cousins and family. I mean, you know, family, you see them, but you don't see them as much. You know, you see them when people die, at wedding, birthday parties, and graduation. So those are usually one-offs, one-off things, you know. And as far as my friends, you know, everybody got their family. So, you know, you don't see people that you used to see every day when you was working and hanging out. Now, those people got their own lives. They're grown up. They got kids, and you know they're spending time with their family. So you have to figure out what you're gonna do for yourself, right? And the dynamic change. So I say all this to say, when you are planning your early retirement, right? Because if you retire before 62, like that's considered early retirement, because you can. I mean, you're not going to draw Social Security. If you retire at 62, right? I think it's 62 or 62 and a half. I don't really care about whatever it is, but I'm just saying you guys can check it out and find out what exactly it is. But when you do at that point, you can get Social Security. So since I'm a high income earner and I'm putting a lot more money than somebody who makes $20,000-$30,000, of course, at 62, I'm only getting probably 2 or 3 grand from Social Security if it's still around in the next 11 years, right? That's 11 years from now, because I'm 51 now. I'll be 52 in February, so that'll be 10 years from that point on. So, you know, God willing, I'll still healthy, and you know, I'll be able to stay around, and you know, be around for my girls, right? So and enjoy life at the same time. So, and you know, enjoying life can be whatever you want it to be. It could be going out to the beach. It can be eating out in 5-star restaurants every day, or eating out in 2-star restaurants every day. You know, it can be whatever suits you. But for me, I want to be around people who love me genuinely, right? And other than your family, even though sometimes they don't give, you know, they don't give a you know, whatever, but they still love you regardless, because you're family. Because we always say family bend but don't break, right? And blood is thicker than water, all this other crap. But sometimes you meet people in life that are friends, but they're closer to you and they treat you better than your family. And those people don't want nothing in return but just to be a part of your life and associated with you. And I have a few of those people in my life. And you guys know yourself. I don't even have to call your name on here, because I don't want to hurt other people's feelings, right? Because other people, a person might be like, that guy, he got to be talking about me. And that person said, oh, he got to be talking about me. And then if I call the name, and then a couple of names or something, and somebody be like, damn, I thought I was that to him. So you guys know yourself. I don't even have to call your name, because you know what you do for me. You know, whenever I ask, whenever I need help, you know, you guys know you're always there. And there is no, oh, let me think about it. Nope. It's like, okay, I'm on it. Boom. And it's done. You know, so if I ever was to get rich and become a multi-millionaire to where I need an assistant, somebody I can just pay to, even if I have to move them from wherever they're at and move them where I live with their family, and just pay them $40,000-$50,000 a year to just be my assistant whenever I am, man, that would be great. you know, and that would be great because that person is worth deserving. They're a hard worker. They bust butt every day, kick ass every day to try to take care of their family. So enough of that, right? So back to retiring early. I want to retire when I'm 55. Okay. Now this all can change if, for whatever reason, I don't have a job, right? Then whenever the job I got now, if that relationship ever ends, that'll be it for me. I'm not looking for another job. I'm not gonna go look for another job because I'll be done, right? I'm gonna work it the best I can. Now, if somebody who I worked for before say, "Hey, Edwin, we need you to come and build this department or whatever, like I've done in the past," then yeah, I will go and do that for maybe a year or two. But at this point, as you guys can see, I share my portfolio every day. I don't need that anymore, right? Because if I liquidate my properties in the U.S. and decide to say, you know what, I'm going to liquidate these properties and take that money and put it into my portfolio. Now I use margins right now, right? And with margins, I'm able to generate almost 10,000. I'm on my way to 10,000 a month, right? But if I were to sell my real estate portfolio in the U.S., right, and pull out the cash that I have in the U.S. and put that into my portfolio, right? I mean, that's close to $300,000, more or less. Not only that, if I sell the cars, the Tesla is not paid for, but I'm probably not going to be able to sell it because it probably dropped down the price from where I bought it brand new a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It probably the value have been devalued right now. So that car probably going to be paid off, and I'm going to take that car with me into DR or Panama, whatever closer, whatever easier is to take it to. And depending if I spend a lot of time there. But I know once I leave the U.S., I'm going to be going back and forward between Colombia and the DR. I mean, it's a couple of $100 flight from here to the DR. So round trip, right? A couple of hours. I mean, it's Santo Domingo. Couple of hours. I mean, Punta Cana. So it's pretty close. Okay, it's pretty close. So that's the plan, right? The plan is to cut that time short and move. So my house alone, the mortgage and HOA I pay annually. Is under $1,000, but taxes and insurance. Well, I'll take that back. Insurance and the mortgage is about $3,500 a month. Now the taxes, it varies. All the taxes could be another 10 grand a year, right? So if I get rid of that property, which is not the plan to do that, but if I get rid of that property and take all the cash and put it into my portfolio, or say, you know what, I'm going to take that 300 and put it into a brand new portfolio, that's another 10 grand a month, right? And that's more money that I'll be making than putting that in than the real estate generates monthly. Did you guys get that? If I take that 300K, put it into a separate portfolio and make that a separate entity, like I tell you guys, right? My portfolio is like businesses. Some make more money than the other. But if I take that and put it in a separate entity and do, or split it up into another two, but if I split it up 100K, 150, I'll be generating, with margins between those two, I'll be generating almost $15,000 because that would be 300, a 200,000 plus, 200,000 plus. and that's will be generating another 7,000 each. So, I mean, and I can either play it safe or go crazy with it and just do yield max, maybe Defiance, or whoever got better margin requirements, and do it that way. And like I say, I would have multiple income streams instead of that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 portfolio spread out, and I invest in all similar positions, right? Because if one thing go down, everything goes down. So I would have to change the different positions and different things, but still have high yield to generate the income. So you don't really need, like the people say, oh, you need $1 million to retire, or 1.2. You guys see my portfolio. Those two portfolio. One is 80-something thousand that I put, the other one is 116, whatever it was on Friday. And both of those portfolio combined generate over $7,000 a month. So even if I said, okay, well, I'm living in Colombia, I use $2,000, I still got $5,000 that I can either pay back the margins, right? I can pay margins and they give me more to reinvest, right? Or I can just reinvest that money and pay very little on the margins and still live off of what I have, right? And keep my margins under 50% to where even if the market drops 20, 30%, I don't have to worry about nothing because I'm not going to get a margin call. So, I mean, it's one of the things that, that I preach. I started with, investing in 1%, 2%, 3% things. And later on, as I got comfortable doing those over 4+ years, then I added the higher yield stuff, but very on the low end for a year plus. I was investing in those for a year plus, but not too crazy, right? 10%, 15%, 30 here, 40% there, but the overall kept my overall average yield under 20%. Because all of the lower yield things I was investing in. And when I decided, when ER decided she wanted to go to the University of Houston, and her mom decided she wasn't going to help pay her tuition because she ain't got no money, so I had to come up with a way because I don't want my daughter to have issues that a lot of other kids have with student loan. Even though she's using a student loan now, but I'm building a portfolio that's going to pay that money back before or after she get out of college, right? After she got out of college, she got 6 months, I believe, back in the day when I was in school 20 years ago. That's what it was. When you got out of school, to get you 6 months to pay, probably the same. But whatever it is, by the time she get out of school, we should have that portfolio generating over $100,000 a month. I mean, over $10,000 a month. Which is the goal. 4 years from now, for that portfolio to be generating that much, I think it's easy. And if we add margins, yeah, we can be generating that much money. And then once they get to a certain amount, and they reach the amount of money that we need to pay her tuition, I mean, we can stop paying the tuition now and don't even use the loan amount, student loan amount for the rest and pay that off. So there are a lot of ways to do this. Right? We can build a portfolio to generate more money in over 4 years and then use that money to pay down the tuition of what in the account, or we can, after the first year she should have money in the account to pay the tuition and stop taking the loan. But I don't want it, that's the thing I want to be very careful about, because I can say, okay, we're going to pay the tuition and she still can take the loan because she need money to do whatever. And then that's a bill later on that I have to pay for. But she gonna act like, oh, well, Daddy, I didn't know. I thought it, kids. We all did it. We took extra money that we didn't need when I was in school because we thought it was free money. And later on, you realize, shoot, I gotta pay that stuff back. So it's the same thing. Kids will be kids. um, you know, she went and got her nose pierced, and I told her we talked about that. I said, E, don't get your nose pierced. She said, oh no, Daddy, there's something I talk about with my mom, but since she don't want me to do it, I'm not gonna do it. A week later, she got her nose pierced. So in the photo she took that she sent me, there's no nose ring. But the photo she took and sent her mom, that's the nose ring. And her mom didn't say nothing about the photo because she was encouraging her to go on, get the stuff done, girl, it's okay. So when I saw it, I went berserk. I was pissed. So I called her and she said, well, Daddy, I told you blah 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 I was gonna do this. I said, yes, but you told me when I told you not to do it, if you were gonna do it, all you gotta tell me is say, Daddy, I love you, but this is something I want and I'm gonna do it. So you couldn't get mad now, just let me get mad because I'm gonna do it. I said, be honest, because I want to be able to trust you. You're a girl, so I really want to be able to trust you. So if you tell me one thing, I'm going to take your word for it. And if you do something else, and then I lose the trust that I have for you, and being you my baby, it's hard but I still have to trust you, but you still lose a little respect from me. Do what you tell me you're going to do. Don't say, oh, Daddy, I'm going to do this, and then later on, you do it anyway because you said, oh, you're not going to do it. So I don't want it to be that way. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be that way. We have a relationship where I can't believe nothing you're telling me. That's the last thing I want. So, and I didn't talk to her for a few days because I was hot. And then I called her mom and went up on her. She said, well, I didn't know. I said, you see the picture you sent me, you didn't see the picture with a nose ring? She said, oh, no, I didn't see it. I'm like, I said, you were encouraging her to go get the goddamn ring anyway. Now she got it. Well, she's a girl. I mean, no, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. Just like telling you, oh, I'm not going to go across the street. But as soon as you turn your back and not go across the street. I mean, at a certain point, you old enough, you should be like, what, I'm sorry, but I'm going across the street, whether you like it or not. And that's a relationship I want to have with her, for her to be direct and honest with me. But we went past that, and I told her how I felt, and she apologized. And that was it. We moved past that. Because I'm like, if you're grown, then you don't need me to pay for tuition. You can figure it out on your own and be all these other kids that have $100,000 worth of student loan, and they have a degree that they can't use, then they're going to walk in Walmart and customer service jobs because they got a degree that they can't use. But she determined at this age she want to be a lawyer. I'm like, okay, whatever. So you go into technology, and she's a smart kid. She's my kid. She's my kid. So I got a bunch of smart people in my family. We got a few dumb ones, but my family as a whole, we're very intelligent, smart people. A lot of doctors, a lot of lawyers, a lot of engineers, nurses. So we got a lot of smart people in my family. And and she's showing that she's a smart girl. She got into the University of Houston. She got into other schools, but she wanted to stay in Houston. She wanted to go to Houston. So because there were all her friends that she went to high school. Her close friends went to university, not at University of Houston, but I went to other universities, in the Houston area. Okay, so that's one of those things. So what is the benefit to early retirement? A lot of people retire early or stop working early, and they get bored, right? They get bored because they don't have nothing outside of work. I spend all day in the house, all day on the computer, all day doing research and doing different things, right? When I got to make a consultation call with somebody, of course, and the first call is just gathering information, so I really don't do no research. But the second call, when we get to that point, then I do a lot of research to provide more information that this person can use to get to where they need to get to. right? But having income, without income, it will take a lot longer to get to where you need to get to. Meaning for that is, if you're making, let's say you're making $5,000 a month, but you can only save $200 a month into your retirement early fund. If you're at age 24, 25, that's fine. That's fine. You can still retire in 20 years with a few $1,000,000 in the bank if you invest it right. But if you at 45, 50 years old and doing $200 a month, and you have a 5G's income after taxes, you don't have a money problem. You have a spending problem. So we will need to look at your expenses more than anything else, because you're not tracking your expenses. Because if you're tracking your expenses, I mean, if you have there's no need to have a car that you're spending over $1,000 a month for, and you're making $5,000 a month, and then you spend another $3,000 a month in housing when you're making only $3,000 a month, and you don't have enough income coming from nowhere else, just your job. Because you really don't have to impress anybody. I keep saying this: when you don't have it, you think, oh, I need to have a nice car to show off, or I need to have a nice, use a car, wear nice clothes, wear nice watches. I mean, look, this watch I got right here. This is a Fitbit, whatever it is. It's a timepiece, but the time ain't been right on this watch since I hooked it up to my phone the first time. And when I got a new phone, I never really set the time on this thing, but I just wear it. Right? The time is not right. You said 8:12 right now. The time is not right. But do I care? No. Because the only time that I care about is the one that is set on my alarm system that wakes me up at 7:15 in the morning, 7:20, and at 7:30 or 7:25. So I get those 3 alarms. If I don't wake up by the 3rd one, then I'm gonna be late for work. And sometimes I don't get up till 7:40. And that's what be at work at 7:30, which is 8:30 in the U.S. But sometimes I oversleep because one reason I'm tired, whatever, 1 or 2 things, I just lay there. I don't want to get up. But when you start making so much money and you worry about, they worry about the Joneses or keeping up with the Joneses. Now, I hate that I bought a new car because I didn't think things were going to change so rapidly and that would allow me to move so fast. I always thought I had another 3-4 years until we could get my brother situated. You know, I just thought it was going to take that long. But everything happened so fast that now I don't have to wait 3-4 years. I can do it now, and I've been planning for 3-4 years ahead of, and planning for 3-4 years. But now I have to stop planning for 3-4 months. And sometimes I can be a procrastinator. Sometimes I can be a procrastinator. And sometimes I do things like I say, when I say I'm going to do things, I do it. Because I'm a man of my word. I always say I don't have money, but the only thing I have is my word. So when I give you my word, say I'm going to do something, I do that more than anything else, because I'm not rich. I'm rich with love. I'm rich with family. I'm rich with friends. I mean, I'm almost a millionaire, but still. One of these days I'll be rich with money, in abundance. But now I have surplus to live anywhere and do this full time. It'll be a full time, part time, because I'm not making no money off of this. I got another channel I got 2 channels I have over 1,000 subscribers, and the other channel I have forever, I'm still waiting to get to $100 so YouTube can send me a paycheck. But I don't do a lot of video on that, and most of the video I do is about my house and stuff, so people don't care about building building the backyard or putting a barbecue grill in. People watch that, yeah, but sometimes they don't watch it, right? They want to see people walking on the beach, a booty, pretty girls. Yeah, people want to watch that like they've never seen pretty women in their life, dressing skimpy. So as things change, the dynamic in my other channel, The Life of Edwin Ford, instead of that being primarily focused on the U.S. and when I do travel, now that I'm going to be living in paradise in multiple countries, the scenery is going to change. It's going to be more video about paradise, right? And this channel, like I said, I'm focusing on this channel to keep the videos about finance, about money, about retirement, about investing, about real estate. Now, on my other channel, The Life of Edwin Ford, I do talk about real estate because sometimes we'll look at properties and stuff like that. But this channel is primarily about investing. And I'll go to the beach and put a video on here about the beach, and then people lose focus because they're not watching the beach anymore. They're watching a nice girl in a bikini. And then if that video hit, then I'm like, oh wow, maybe I should put more videos on here with girls with bikini to encourage these guys to save more money so they can retire early and go look at more girls with bikini. But no, the girls with bikini that are on the beaches and stuff that you guys see, pay to play, all that stuff, those are some of the perks of setting your financial goal and retire early. So I'm gonna give you guys one or two things, right? I was watching a video about this brother. I can't think of his name, but he's a black guy. He lives in Colombia. I think he lives in Santa Marta. I've seen another video of him before. It's a black dude. Like, he work out. He's in great shape. And he went to one of these islands. I can't think of the name of the island, but I've been there maybe 3 or 4 times. You can rent a boat. You can rent your own boat for the day. Spend $500. That boat will take you out there. You can party on your boat. You can jump in the water. You can do whatever. You can party all day, and your boat will bring you back. Or you can pay like a taxi boat that would take multiple amount of people over to the island. It's like an hour. It's like an hour ride from here to whatever it is. I can't think of the name of the place. I'm sorry, guys. If I think of the name, I'm gonna put it in the description somewhere. Maybe I can put a link to it, but I can't think of the name. So sorry. So I'm letting you guys run right down. Anyway, this brother, he went to the island. For whatever reason, the boat that he was supposed to take to bring him back, he didn't. That boat, when he was ready to leave, that boat wasn't available. So he met a group of girls, right? And these girls are American girls, group of girls. And one of the girls he gelled with, right? He gelled with, the conversation was cool. The other girls, bad attitude, whatever. So, and he warned them, he said, look, keep a verse on what you guys are ordering. Because at the end of the day, these guys is gonna, they know you guys are American. They're gonna, add extra money to this stuff. And they're like, whatever, right? So they didn't listen to him. These ladies, they did all they had to do. At the end of the night, end of the day, the bill came. Now, I don't know why you would travel and don't have money, but people do that all the time. You guys seen, I seen the passport bro that got stuck in San Domingo. He was begging the subscribers to send him money. He's not a passport bro. He's just a passport brokey, right? Because if you're a passport bro, you got your shit in order. Basically, those like the pookies, passport pookies. No, you're not a passport bro. But anyway, the ladies had to pay the bill. I think from what he said, he gave them some money to help them pay the bill. And it was like, but you the man, why don't you pay the bill? Now, keep in mind, he never seen these women before in his life. He don't know these women from Adam or Eve. This is the first time he meeting them, and he was talking to one of the friends that showed interest, and she was cool. So he took out 300,000 pesos and gave it to them. That's $75, $80, depending on the rate, to help them pay the bill. So when they had a boat, he went and talked to the boat captain. Said, "Yo, bro, I need to get on your boat. You take me, I'll give you 200,000 pesos. This is about $50." So the boat captain said, "Okay." So he got on that boat with them, and on the way back, they're all mad at him because he didn't pay. Even though he gave them some money to help them pay for whatever they had to pay, they're all mad at him and asking, "Why are you doing our boat anyway?" He already paid the captain to get him on that boat. Long story short, these women from America, ladies, they bring the same attitude they have in the U.S. when they come outside the U.S. They got that bad attitude, they got that stink face, So in the end, I think he ended up talking to the one girl. This story is a little longer than I'm just cutting it short, making the story short. In the end, he had to piss in the middle of the ocean, so he talked to the captain and said, "Yo, bro, I need to use the bathroom." And there's no bathroom on this boat. So the captain stopped the boat in the middle of the ocean after he get a guy 100,000 pesos, $20 to use the bathroom in the middle of the ocean. He went and took a leak, and these little women, I guess, were trying to throw him over in the water. So he went to the back of the boat, and the girl that he was talking to, at some point she was trying to defend him for something. Like I said, I can't remember the whole story now. But all the other girls jump on their friend that was trying to defend this guy. So guys, and this happened to me also, not on the boat, but this happened to me also in Cartagena. I went to a restaurant with my friends. I came from Villavicencio, out here visiting. They went to watch the ball game, Barranquilla. We're sitting in some bar in Central, right? And the two girls walking. One was tall, almost as tall as I am, and she had on some heels. So she was like every bit of 6'4", long legs, nice body, had on the wig and everything else going on. And there was another one behind her. She was a little short, but she had a nice body, dark skin. You could really see her face. So they were sitting in the back of the club. And I was like, man, there's some beautiful, if they're Latinas, there's some beautiful sisters. I'm going to go holler. But I was like, you know what, before I do that, let me talk to the guy who was serving them, the waiter. And I was like, and those girls, are they American or they're Colombian or, from another country? He's like, no, they're Americans. I said, oh, okay, thank you. And then I stopped going the other way. And he was like, you're not going to talk to them? I was like, bro, no, I didn't come to Colombia to talk to American girls. And usually those girls have bad attitude. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, believe me, I know. So they left. Because it was almost 2 o'clock. These guys were falling asleep and tired. They don't want to leave. I was like, yo, bro, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to be there for 15 minutes. And if you guys haven't left, now the girls, I walked out. They've been out maybe 10 minutes. And I was like, if you guys haven't left this club and come outside in 10 minutes, by 15 minutes, I'm taking a taxi and I'm going to the apartment. And when I fall asleep, you guys are not going to get in the house because I'm going to sleep. I've been doing this for 3 days straight. I'm tired. So walking down the stairs, guess who I see? They're down there. There's some place there with a lot of mirrors, and they're taking pictures. So I stopped. I was like, "You guys need me to help you take the picture?" And they were like, "No, no." I said, "You sure?" "No." And they're holding that phone in a bag. I was like, and I just laughed and I said, "Okay, well, you guys have a blessed night. Enjoy yourself." And then they look at me. They're like, "Oh, he's American." But at this point, like I said, I was just trying to do them a favor. But the look they gave me, like I was trying to rob them for their phone or something. I'm like, if you know how much police are around this area, you can't steal nothing from nobody here, don't get caught. There's cameras everywhere. Anyway, I said this to say, this is the reason I leave the U.S. I don't date in the U.S. I haven't been on date in the U.S. in years. Right? If I need to go on a date, I'll pay for my ticket and I will come to Colombia. I go out with my old lady back in the day, or now that I'm single again, I go out who the hell I want to go out with. I don't have to do that pay to play shit. It's not for everybody who feel comfortable doing that. And I, for one, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I deal with regular people. I don't go out to the places where people normally go that would be associated with pay to play. Okay, guys? And for those who don't understand what that means, it's paying for the pool net. Pooch Tang. Okay, guys. So they got, brothels and other things in other places that you can do that. But that's one thing. If you love that stuff, and you say, you know what, I'm going out there and I'm going to do one a week. Now they're going to charge the $100 that you, $120, whatever, but you can pay what, $50, $60, and you can get one a week. That's $250, $260, whatever the price is for 5 days or 7 days. You do the math. $300, $350 a week. That's a lot of money just for that. I prefer to get a regular woman, or maybe 2 or 3 in different cities, and you can go visit them and enjoy your time. But this the benefit of living abroad, where you're spending money. They call it tricking, but who don't trick? Even the man that got a wife trick. He got to take care of his wife. He got to take care of his family. So I don't understand all these words and stuff. It's ludicrous, right? But if that's what you want to do, $300-something a week, right? That's almost what, $1,400 a month. $1,200. That's $1,200. Sorry, $1,200 a month, just for that. But if you're making $6,000-$7,000 a month, and you're not living in the U.S., and you living like in Colombia, where you living on $2,000 a month, and you got another $5,000 a month to reinvest or do whatever the hell you want. I mean, it is what it is. But anybody can do it. I've done it. I started doing this almost 5 years ago. Right. 45. Well, 46 years. I was 46 years old at the time, going on 47. I was at 47. I don't even know. But you go back 5 years. I'm 51. I'll be 52 in February. The math don't really matter to me at this point. Right? But that's when I started doing this. Almost 5 years. And you guys see my portfolio. You'll see the other portfolio. The other portfolio I don't really show you guys because that's the Roth. I got the growth. So that Roth, when I turn 59 and a half, that now it's generating about $7,000 a year. By the time we get to that age, because next year when I put more money into the account, and then I max it out, and then everything else is reinvested. So that account gonna be over 100,000 next year. I think it's at 94 now. I doubt it if we're gonna make another gain in $6,000 for the rest of the year to get it over 100. But if not, next year for sure that account will be over 100K, and that income will go from 7 to maybe 10. Right? And I'm still gonna be putting money in there until I'm 59 and a half. I'm gonna put the money in there. So by the time I get to 59 and a half, I will have added another, what? I would say another 1, 2, 3, 4, another maybe 30,000, 40, 50,000, 70,000. Let's say 70,000. More or less. The number is off, but it's just it's just a number. I'm just throwing the number out. Because right now I put like 8,000 in there. I think it's 8,000 a year. Right? I'm 51, so 7 years, more or less, 50, 60, $70,000. And then the gain that coming into the account that being reinvested, every year I'm reinvested 7 plus the 7 I added. So that means that's 14,000. I mean the 8,000, that's 16,000 plus the 7 that's coming. And then next year that 7 is gonna be, every month that 7 increase, right? Every month that money increase. So by the end of the year, it might be more than 7. But if you don't start, like I say, you got to build it. We build it as we go. This channel is still growing. We're still building the channel, right? I got some things. I do the weekly thing. I do the weekly review. I do the weekly Edwin Talk video like I'm doing now. So at some point, I might be doing multiple videos a day on different things, right? On individual stocks. Like I was doing in the beginning, 4 or 5 stocks I would talk about and do videos on them, on different things as it relates to investing. So, I mean, the channel gonna change, but the overall balance, the overall structure will remain the same. Because this is what got us here, but we gotta keep improving the overall channel, right? You gotta keep improving the overall channel and bringing better content and helping to motivate you guys, right? I learned how to do this on my own. If nobody showed me. I'm trying to encourage you guys to do this on your own and start. You don't have to start with a lot of money. I say this all the time. You have to open an account. It'll cost you nothing to open an account. You have to deposit money in the account. You can say, oh, I don't have money. I have to do this. I got to pay for this. You just got to put $10 in there. If the minimum requirements for, if you open up a Roth, the minimum requirement in some of these brokerage is 5. The smaller one, I think like Robinhood, I think it's like, not Robinhood, like M1, I think is 500 you got to put in there. But like Robinhood, I don't think there is a requirement. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, there's no requirement. You can just open a Roth and you have to deposit in your Roth. I think if you're under 50, I think it's like 7,000 something. If you over 50 and over is 8,000 a year. And I think you can add an additional 2,000 there. I think so. Don't quote me on that. Check it. Do your own research. But you can add more money to the account. And I was telling the gentleman yesterday I was talking to, let's say you max out your Roth this year, but the previous year you didn't max out your Roth. You can max your previous year Roth out before the tax season ends, before the end of the year, the end of the fiscal year. Because I did it before with Fidelity, and I don't know I'm not sure if was it because we had that extension during the tax season or something, 1 year. I'm not sure if there was that. And since then, I just paid the first couple months of the year. I just deposit whatever the requirement is. I just put that money in there. So I haven't done it since to say, and I don't have any like 401k that I need to transfer into like a IRA and then move over. I mean, my old stuff, I moved them over, paid the taxes, and moved them to my Roth. I pay the taxes now because if I wait later, it's gonna cost me more money because the dollar gonna lose value, and I'll be paying more taxes for money that I have now. So I just pay the taxes and move it over, and let that money grow tax-free. Which is more important? If you got a money sitting in the IRA, move that to your Roth, pay the damn tax. There's no need for that money to be sitting in there. You can still invest that money, but you still have to pay taxes on it. Move that into your Roth. Do what's necessary. Do what's good for you. If you say, no, I ain't doing that, I'm leaving it, Edwin, that's your business. I'm just trying to help. Like I said, a lot of information I give you guys, I might not give you the full detail, but I give you enough for you to go and check it and verify what I'm talking about. Google that crap. If you're not sure, if you don't understand, listen to what I'm saying, then Google it. Look for the information. It's on the interweb. I mean, that's where I get a lot of the stuff from, on the internet. You know? So for you, if you're using the 3 or 4% rule, then you have to worry about, oh, I need to have millions of dollars in the bank. But if you're not using the 3 or 4% rule, you don't need to have $700,000-$800,000 in the bank. As you can see right now, my portfolio $300,000, generating almost 10 grand a month, and half of that money is coming from margins. It's not all my money. Some of it is margins. I gotta pay the margin, but it's like going and get a loan from the bank and investing it, except they don't have to pull my credit. And some of these banks, you can put, I think, $1,000 or $5,000 in that bank, this brokerage, and then they'll give you margins. Every brokerage is different. But a lot of these brokerage, they will allow you to do that. To where you can just move stuff around and you'd be good. You know? So, I mean, I love Transcript because when I travel international, I got that credit card, the debit card, that I attached to my bank account, and I can go to the ATM, pull money out. They're going to charge me a fee, but Charlie Swire will get my money back. They give me their fees, for the money for the fees back. So it's a good card to have, especially if you're going to be traveling internationally and stuff like that. It's a good thing to have. And secondly, I was listening on another live the other day with Ronnie the Traveler, Uncle Jay, Cam, the Ultimate, I think his name is Cam, a little cool young dude. A couple of other cats, up and coming guys in the YouTube world. And one of the guys came on the call. They were traveling, and one of the friends in the group, we all got those guys. Now, this guy owes $40,000+ in child support, and he got a passport, which is lucky to have a passport. And he can't even put money in his account because every time he put money into his account, child support people take the money. And, I don't know if he's a deadbeat dad or whatever, but he's trying to go out of the country and he can't even pay to go out of the country. But if you owe that much in child support and you leave, when you come back, they're going to arrest you at the airport. They're definitely going to arrest you at the airport. Do your research. So his friend will ask, he's like, man, if this, that, yeah, they're gonna arrest you at the airport. I wasn't on the panel, but I was watching because I had a company and that I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, you know what, I don't need you to be on this call. We can hang out and chill out, and you can listen to your call, but you don't need to get on the call. I'm like, okay, whatever, boss lady, I'm gonna chill with you and listening. And I'm like, guys, we all have, not, and I won't say we all, some of us have kids in the U.S. and we take care of our children. And I always wasn't I wasn't always a high earner, right? A lot of that's changed when I left Atlanta and moved to Houston. Because before that, I was making less than $50,000 a year. But when I went to Houston and got a job with Hess, they were paying, I think at the time, $58,000, and that was other than me working independent by myself, my own business, I was making 10 times that much. But when I say, you know what, I'm gonna let it go because I got tired of paying alimony, I was making less, but I was happy because I wasn't giving them my money that I was working for. But when I went to Houston, I was making good money at that time, because coming from making 35, 45,000 to making 58, that's a big jump. And then when I left Hess, I went to another smaller company. It seemed like it was a pay cut. Well, not seemed like it was a pay cut because they brought me back down to 55. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to Atlanta because I didn't even like Houston. I'm like, I'm going back to Atlanta. And I took a job at AT&T at the time, and I think they were paying like $68,000. And that's when I got my first security position. Because I work as an engineer in Houston. I left desktop support and went to engineering with Hess, and then from Hess to the other company, I got a little less money, but I got into firewalls, all the stuff that I always wanted to do when I worked for for our RBS link. And, you know, link systems back then. But, you know, you can say, well, you hired the other guy from desktop support who have no experience, but you don't want to hire somebody who, in the company who will always bring things security related to you guys to look at, but you hire somebody else from outside. But I had to leave, and then when I got into security, of course, the pay jumped. And I realized, like, I can make more money if I change job every year or two. And every time we change the job, I'm getting 10,000 to 20 grand. In one case, I got $30,000 pay increase. And this was before I got into management. So if you want to make more money, yeah, in the beginning, it's a slow process. But after you get into that and start building yourself, learning new skills, learning new tools, and understand how to articulate to people that is technical and non-technical people, man, you got it made. Because you can leave one company, go to the next, get that 4 or 5 grand, 10 grand. And if you don't like it, you go to the next. And sometimes I worked 2 jobs. The last 4 years, when I was building my portfolio, 3.5 of those years, I was working 2 jobs to build my portfolio. Because I wasn't taking it from the job I was working. I used one job 80%, and the other 20, I was having fun. That was my fun money. And then my other job, I was investing and doing things regularly, like anybody else. So my savings rate was probably more than 50%, really, if you add both jobs together, for 3 years and plus. So that's how you see, you know, most people, it takes most people 7, 8 years, 10 years to save 100,000. And within 5 years, I have close to 400,000 saved. If you add my 401k, not my 401, my Roth, right? You add my my 2 portfolios, right? And you add the growth portfolio, that's 300,000+ right there. And that's not even including my regular 401k retirement. So let's say 300,000 that I've put together, right? Almost 400,000 that I've invested, that I saved in 5 years. It takes more people 7 years to save 100,000. So that don't tell you how serious I was, right, to make this work. I bust my butt working hard so I can pull the cash together and put it away. And I was spending money. Last year I spent $20,000 on flights. And the year before, I think it was like 18. I can't remember the year before that. I have to look it up. But just on flights. And most of those flights was back and forth to Colombia. Got flight Delta, so round trip anywhere between $500 to $1,200 a flight, to a round trip flight with Delta. And sometimes if something happened that I needed to get back home right away, of course I'm paying $1,500, $1,600 for a ticket. But it's what you have to do. And when you have the money to do it, you're not like, oh shoot, where am I going to get the money from? You just give them a credit card and put it on there. That's why you build your credit. So when in time of emergency, I use credit in time of emergency. I don't use my cash because my cash is making me money, and I take that money and pay the credit card back. So you got to do those things. And like I say, I don't just teach people. Say when I have do consulting calls, I don't just like, oh, you know what? This is how you buy stock. This is what you need to do to buy stock. This is how you invest. That's the last thing I show people how to do it. They've never done it before. Because I want to make sure that they understand the principle that they need to start with to get to where I'm at. And that principle is saving your money understand your expense, set your budget. You have to budget. Budgeting, set your budget. Make sure the income you have coming in is enough for you to put that money aside. I talked about that video the other day. You got to be at a certain age. When you're at that age, you have to be able to invest that amount of money. And the older you are, the more money you need to invest. And I talk about that all the time. I talk about that almost every day in my videos. Some point or other, I talk about this. So, oh shoot, look at the time. It's already an hour. I've been running my mouth for an hour. I've been running my mouth for an hour, and you guys didn't even say nothing. I know you can't tell me anything. Every mom been calling me here while I've been running my mouth. I guess that was the time she told me to stop talking and call. But these are some of the things you need to do. Invest in your future, guys. Okay, we're gonna do this video again next week, and maybe I need to start doing these videos as I get these inspiration. I need to do the video so I don't wait till Sunday to do the video. Okay, guys? So remember, invest in your future. I love you guys. Happy investing. We'll do it again next week. Peace.